right, so on Pesach we have the 4 cups of wine, and we see the sequence of this repetitive number of 4. The 4 cups of wine, the 4 children, Arba Banim, that the Torah spoke about in the Psukim related to Mitzrayim. We also have over here that HaKadosh Baruch Hu took us out, and we say Baruch HaMakom. We say the word Baruch 4 times. Baruch, blessed is HaMakom. Baruch Hu, blessed is Hashem. Baruch Shanatan Torah L'Amo Yisrael, blessed is the Torah. And Baruch Hu, another time we say blessed. Says Rabbi Eliyahu Kitov, these 4 times are related to the place itself. Normally we call Hashem the place, but it also is the place of Har Sinai. Mount Sinai itself, as soon as the Jewish people, Bnei Israel, got to Har Sinai, Paskaz Zuhamatan, their iniquities, their traits, their stains and impurity of Mitzrayim has deceased from being onto them and glued onto them as soon as we arrived at a holy place. It also teaches us that the place that a person is in can induce holiness and can relieve of impurity. We got to Har Sinai, wow, that was already a very high level. And then we say that's the Makom. Baruch Hu, blessed is Hashem. Also blessed is the Torah itself that gave us holiness. And also our blessed are the recipients of the Torah, which are the Jewish people. Now the question is for the night of Pesach, why is it that we have necessarily red wine? So Sephardim are very particular about having red wine. What is it about the red wine? Says Rabbi David Cohen in his book O Halacha. He says there are 2 main reasons that we could associate with. One is Zecher Ladam, is remembrance to the blood of Mitzrayim that Paro sadly would slaughter Jewish babies. Shochet Yaldei Israel v'tovel bedamam letzara'ato. He said, I have no choice. My doctors gave me a prescription here for the leprosy that he has. He had to take a bath in blood, and he had to do that, so he slaughtered babies, as the Midrash teaches us. It's also Zecher leKorban Pesach. The Dam Milah, it's also a remembrance to the Paschal lamb that we slaughtered in the command of Hashem, and also the blood of the Milah. That's why in a Brit Milah we say, Va'omar lach bedamaich chayi, Va'omar lach bedamaich chayi, that the Prophet says that we have livelihood and continuity in result of the blood of the Korban Pesach and the blood of Milah. Those were the mitzvot that we had. Bnei Israel didn't have enough zechuyot. Hashem said, I want to take you out, but I need something. I need some zechuyot, some mitzvot. So He gave us these mitzvot to do, and bischutam, in those merit we were redeemed. But also the Kaf HaChaim says that the red is resembled to le'atid lavo, not to something historical that we remember, rather to something that we anticipate for the future, which is mi ze ba me edom lavush mi botzra madu edom lilvushech, meaning to say that HaKadosh Baruch Hu will send us Mashiach, and He will come from Edom, from the place of all the distancing that we have from mitzvot. That's when, as the Gemara said, Mashiach will either come bedor shekulo chayav or dor shekulo zakai. Either it's going to be a generation that we're full of merit or full of the opposite, and even when that case is going to happen, we're going to have Mashiach come to give us salvation. So those are the 4 cups of wine. We also spoke whether it needs to be red wine particularly, so Sephardim are pretty particular about having red wine, and if you can have red wine that is lo mevushal, it's even better. So it's in a higher state. Why? What's so special about lo mevushal? First of all, it's more distinguished. It's a higher class of wine. But secondly, it's also hara'ui lenaseach ala mizbeach. It's wine that if you go back to the Mizbeach, to the Bet HaMikdash, to the Mishkan, to the altar, we had a pouring of wine on the corners of the altar all year round except for Sukkot. We would take wine and it would be poured on the Mizbeach. So here too, it's a very holy night. We also want to have wine that has a resemblance to that. If a person cannot do that, then of course they could drink white wine or grape juice, but really the best is to do that. Quick question for today. What would happen if a person tells you, we know that you have to drink the wine in one instance, meaning Revi'it, you should drink in one instance. And if you take a sip, pause, take another sip, it's a question whether it's considered one lapse of drinking. But we all agree, our Chachamim agree, that you shouldn't have a pausation between a sip and then you pause as long as it takes you to drink another Revi'it, and then you finish off the Revi'it. Meaning to say, we need to have 81 what it says over here, grams of wine, which is lechatchila more than a revit. Now you have to drink it in one lapse. But if you drink it, take a little sip, stop, and you had a pause, that in that pause somebody could drink a whole revit again, it's considered a pause. And so it's a problem. So you should drink the whole glass like that. Remember, so you got a lot of things going on. You're leaning to the left. Then you're drinking this whole red, non-bemushal, alcoholic goblet of wine. And you shouldn't have a pause, and it should be straight there. So a person shouldn't have a pausation. Rav Ovadia says, b'diavad, if a person already stopped and something happened, or they can't, whatever it is, he's lenient that a person, because of a sveka, could still consider that to be drunk, but to be considered drinking it in one instant. But the question for today is, if a person wants to drink through a straw, is it considered that they're drinking it in one instance or not? Because, I mean, you're talking about drinking a glass of wine, you take a glass of wine. But if you're drinking it through a straw, is that considered that you're drinking it?
We don't have any straws.
We don't
have any straws on our table.
Yeah, we don't do straws. So, right? So he says over here, just like Grandpa Albert says, we don't have any straws on our table. We don't, that's not the way to do the halakha, and a person should drink it in the orderly fashion that we normally know.
Amen, amen.